I've been eating 3,000 calories a day, and let me just tell you, it is a lot. Currently right now, I am trying to do a bit of a lean bulk. I'm trying to put on some muscle weight, and we are gonna be talking about the infamous 90-day winter arc. Even though I'm a bit late to this trend, I will say I'm like a month late, but that's okay. I love the concept of a winter arc because I'm a big proponent of action, movement, the act of doing. So with that being said, we are gonna be talking about all of the different goals that we're gonna achieve in the next 60 days. We've got 60 days to lock in, get your crap together. I want to preface by saying goals to me are always going to be like a moving target. It's kind of an always on moving target for working towards your best self. And for me, this is where I'm at currently in my journey. So let's talk about it. One of the big goals for me right now, top of mind, is fitness. So as I said before, I am eating like 3,000 calories a day, which is insane. I feel like Michael Phelps out here, like trying to fuel myself with all the energy and all the strength. One of the habits that I've been really keen on incorporating, and something that I've been doing for the last like almost 2 years, is consistent meal prepping. I'm really limited in time in the evenings. I love cooking, but I also have a very, very tiny apartment. Like my pot doesn't even fit in my sink. For me, cooking and doing that every single day has been a really big friction point for just eating healthy whole foods, because I can definitely see myself falling into the trap of eating like frozen meals and things that are processed, things that come in a bag or a package. I think when I transferred to college and like moved out and everything, I definitely fell into the trap of like eating foods that were not as clean as I would have preferred because it was easy. And I think that's something that we tend to take is convenience over quality. I'm really trying to reverse that because I care about the longevity of my health and wellness. And for me, that's something, especially as like a former athlete, it's easy to take your body for granted, but this is the vessel that is going to take you for like the entirety of your life. In terms of meal prep, this week I'm going to be eating pesto chicken. Here are the macros. I can eat the same thing every single day for a week, so it works for me. In terms of training, I'm doing like legs and glutes 3 times a week, which is kind of a lot, but I'm doing more hypertrophy workouts. I am really trying to put on some muscle on my legs, specifically the glutes. I'm doing a lot of like high reps, decent weight, like more body weight / on the lower end, but I'm trying to like build that foundation of correct form, focusing on really being able to just build the foundation, because I think that's super, super important. And again, everything for me is going to be a long-term game. Strong muscle, I think, is key. It is something that has been proven to preserve longevity in women specifically. I think as you get older, like your body becomes more frail. And while I'm still in my very early 20s, I'm 22 years old, I think it is important to be thinking about these things from early on. So I'm going to be changing up my workout regimen to incorporate more high intensity interval training, because I think that is something that is still really good in terms of maintaining cardiovascular health. But also, I don't think you're really getting into the whole like interference effect for, you know, why bodybuilders like don't like cardio and blah, 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 blah. We're gonna put more emphasis on strength training, muscle building for the next 2 months, because I wanna make progress on this goal. I'm actually gonna try and just like go all in. So I'm taking creatine right now. I'm taking some like amino acid stuff to make sure that I'm like recovering better. I am eating my body weight, over my body weight actually, in protein. So I'm trying to shoot for 150 grams of protein every single day. Baseline will be 100 grams, maybe 120, but target will be 150 grams of protein, which is actually quite a lot and pretty hard to do. And I am definitely eating at a surplus because I think my like regular maintenance caloric intake is pretty high already. 3,000 is definitely, I think, more than like what an average man would eat. But also to note, the food that I'm intaking, I really want it to be like clean, lean, healthy food. So I'm mainly eating chicken breast, hard-boiled eggs. I still believe in eating carbs and a lot of like fats. Like I think it's really important to keep everything well-rounded. I think it's important to mention that I am super, super grateful for the ability to be able to walk, to be able to talk, to be able to breathe, see, smell, hear, all of the 5 senses. I am very, 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 very grateful to be able to have an amazing gym membership, you know, have access to good food. Within the next 60 days, I will be locking in on the gym stuff. Now that we've talked about physical health, let's talk about mental health, because mental health is equally as important as physical health. I think it's another thing that we take for granted, and I really want to be constantly improving and focusing on. I want to be striving towards this deep sense of inner peace and contentness in how I am living my life. I want to focus more on being a high achiever, but also balancing that with, good, healthy habits and building myself a framework that is going to contribute to my sustainability. Mental health, for me, that looks like prioritizing time for self-care, putting my peace first, and I think as a people pleaser, it can be oftentimes very hard to feel like I can do that. I think it's, really taking the time to journal. I think journaling for me is something that I am really, really grateful for. I'm someone that gets very caught up in my own head, but I try to carve out time every single night right before bed. It is the one actionable tool that anybody could do, whether it's just a random pen and paper, anybody could do it. Just jot their thoughts down and really take that time to be very intentional about what you would like to say, what you would like to process. It's a very private thing. I think it's something that you can just be very personal and have no judgment and say whatever you want to say, think whatever you want to think. Personally, I find it really practical to hone in on all the things that I'm super, super grateful for, all the things that are working, that are not working, things that I'm excited about, things that really made my day, people that made my day, and also reading. I think reading is such an underrated skill. There are so many different books in the market, and I also really want to emphasize reading books that are not self-help books, because I love my self-help books, but I also think that those are not really exercising my imagination. Reading is a great way to build your storytelling skills. I think it's a very practical tool. I love reading. I've always loved reading. I've been an avid reader ever since I was like 2 years old. In the next 2 months, that is going to look like consistently carving out time, especially before bed, to read my book. And right now I am reading this book called Severance. It's been really good so far. I just kind of started it, so I'm in the very beginning. I think varying the types of books you read, it just makes you a more interesting human being. So yeah, that leads me on to the next point, which is becoming a more knowledgeable and interesting person. As I grow and mature, I think I've really learned to value the importance of becoming a more knowledgeable and interesting person, like having experiences and stories to be able to contribute to different conversations when you're meeting new people. I think that's a really, really, really beautiful thing. For me, I think that looks like I need to expand my conscious and expand my experiences, because I haven't been having that many new experiences recently, so I need to work on that. As I've said before in previous videos, I think my biggest fear is becoming comfortable. Becoming comfortable just sounds just very, I don't like that. I want to be constantly evolving, growing, learning. I really want to expand my knowledge. I've been doing this by listening to a lot of podcasts, because sometimes it's not very practical for me to be pulling out a book to read as I'm getting ready, because my hands are busy. I've been listening to a lot of science-based podcasts. I have been very interested in a bit of neuroscience lately. One of the books that I'm reading, I'll put it on the screen because I can't think of the name right now, but it's just such an interesting book with regards to healing from trauma and just working towards peace, mindfulness, all of that. I have been really trying to take the time to learn. I just think it's so cool. I find that I'm most impressed by people who have this drive for curiosity. There is a beauty in that, and it's just, I don't know, I love curious people. I love being able to learn. I think it's such a wonderful blessing that we have on this earth to be able to soak in all of this knowledge. I think it's just so cool to have a passion, to be knowledgeable about something, and I just think that makes you a more well-rounded person. And on the topic of the winter arc, I just think this really ladders up to that big picture of just becoming that ideal best self. The next thing is going to be talking about becoming a morning person. So I love being a morning person. I am not naturally a morning person, and it is something that I have to actively renew like choose to be a morning person every single day and every single night, which is like pretty annoying, but I find that motivates me to become the best version of myself. I find that I think the most clearly in the morning and I have the most energy and like mental acuity in the morning. Maybe, I don't know what that says about me in the nighttime, but I think I have been doing a pretty good job at this like within the last like few months, but I want to continue this and make sure that I'm consistent as I carry on throughout the next couple of months. And then the last thing for me, I mean, this one's a little bit personal. Something that I really have been prioritizing is posting consistently on YouTube. So I know I'm just starting out, and I appreciate all the support that I have received, and I'm so, so grateful for everyone who has like watched the videos and like left a comment or messaged me and given me feedback. Like it actually really means a lot. So thank you so much. And I want to continue to work on this. Like this is a little bit of a side project that I'm working on. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this very insightful. I wish you the best luck on your winter arc journey, and trust me when I say there will be more to come on this. So thank you.